Hi, welcome to another episode of Explore It. This week we are going to talk about the history of the light bulb. Now, the electric light is one of the most important inventions of the century. It affects our everyday lives and we cannot imagine our day-to-day lives without it. Although Thomas Alva Edison is credited with inventing it in 1879, he is actually the first person to create the first commercially practical incandescent light. Some historians believe that there were over 20 different versions of the light bulb before Edison's invention called the limelight. But Edison is credited with the invention because it was his variant that managed to outshine all other versions. This is owing to three factors: A. An effective incandescent material, B. A higher vacuum that others achieved, and C. A higher resistance which made power distribution from a centralized source economically viable. In 1802, Humphrey Davy invented the first electric light by experimenting with electricity and invented an electric battery. When he connected wires to his battery and a piece of carbon, the carbon glowed, thereby producing light. His invention was known as the electric arc lamp, and while it produced light, it didn't light up for long and was much too bright for practical use. Over the next 7 decades, other inventors also created light bulbs, but none of the designs could be used for commercial application. Notably, in 1840, British scientist Baron de la Rue enclosed a coiled platinum filament in a vacuum tube and passed an electric current through it. The design was based on the concept that the high melting point of platinum would allow it to operate at high temperatures and that the evacuated chamber would contain fewer gas molecules to react with the platinum, improving its longevity. Although an efficient design, the cost of the platinum made it impossible for commercial production. In 1850, an English physicist named Joseph Wilson Swan created a light bulb by enclosing a carbonized paper filament in an evacuated glass bulb. By 1860, he had a working prototype, but the lack of a good vacuum and an adequate supply of electricity resulted in a bulb whose lifetime was too short to be considered effective. In 1878, Swan developed a longer-lasting light bulb using a treated cotton thread that also removed the problem of early bulb blackening. On July 24, 1874, a Canadian patent was filed by a Toronto medical electrician named Henry Woodward and a colleague Matthew Evans. They built their lamps with different sizes and shapes of carbon rods held between electrodes in glass cylinders with nitrogen. Woodward and Evans attempted to commercialize their lamp, but were unsuccessful. They eventually sold their patent to Edison in 1870. In 1878, Thomas Edison began serious research into developing a practical incandescent lamp, and on October 14, 1878, Edison filed his first patent application for improvement in electric lights. However, he continued to test several types of material for metal filaments to improve upon his original design. Although the patent described several ways of creating the carbon filament, including using cotton and linen thread, wood splints, paper coiled in various ways, it was not until several months after the patent was granted that Edison and his team discovered that carbonized bamboo filament could last over 1,200 hours. This discovery marked the beginning of commercially manufactured light bulbs, and in 1880, Thomas Edison's company, Edison Electric Light Company, began marketing its new product. Wasn't that an interesting insight into the journey of the electric bulb? Thank you so much for watching this video.